Hi, it's Rabbi Michael Barclay from Temple near Simcha in Westlake Village, California. I want to wish you a happy Hannukah and reveal some of the secrets about this amazing holiday. You know, when we're kids, we think Hanukkah is really important because we get gifts, hopefully. When we get older, we think, okay, it's not so important after all. It's just about a military victory. But it actually is really important. And there's a couple of hidden secrets that really will help you enjoy and deepen your Hanukkah experience, hopefully this year and all years to come. First of all, there are two types of prayers in Judaism, two models for prayer. There's a lot of prayers, but two models for prayers, and I will get back to Hanukkah. But the first is Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, blessed are you, O Lord our God, and then we talk what we're praying about. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, who ruler of the universe, who brought forth bread from the earth, or brought forth fruit from the vine, or whatever it may be. Then there's the other model, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to fill in the blanks. Commanded us to wash our hands, commanded us to light the Sabbath candles, etc. The difference in these formulas, and I do promise we'll get back to the issue of Hanukkah, is that if it says, who has sanctified us with your commandments, then it is a blessing that is biblical. If it doesn't say that, then it's not a biblical blessing, it's a rabbinic blessing. So our blessing over bread is not commanded in the Torah, rather it's a rabbinic commandment. Our blessing to light the Sabbath candles, on the other hand, is a biblical commandment. So let's get back to Hanukkah. We say two prayers on Hanukkah. We say a third one when we light the candles, the Shehachiyanu, for the first time we do something, but we say two prayers every night. The first is, blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who has sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. The second is, blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who did wondrous things for our ancestors in days of old of this season. Well, it makes sense, the second one. The Maccabee revolt, the revolution that happened in the 2nd century before the Common Era, where the oil lasted for 8 days, the military victory, all that kind of stuff, that's a rabbinic commandment. I mean, the Maccabees happened long after the Torah was already closed, before the Bible, the Bible was closed already. So that makes sense. But then how is it a biblical commandment that we should light these Hanukkah candles? This first one, blessed are you, O Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who sanctified us with your commandments and commanded us to kindle the Hanukkah lights. It is found in the Bible, and that's one of the secrets of this holiday. In the book of Genesis, chapter 50, we discuss and we learn about our patriarch Jacob's death. And we know that Jacob is born and dies on the first evening of Sukkot. And it says in chapter 50 that they mourned him for 70 days in Egypt. And then they traveled for a day and they had a festival that night, and Joseph, his son, ordained that there will be a festival for another 7 days, for all eternity. So there's this 8-day festival in total that starts 70 days after Jacob's death. Well, if Jacob did die on the first evening of Sukkot, as we're taught in the Midrash, then 70 days after that is a date in the Hebrew calendar of the 25th of Kislev. It's the same night that Hanukkah begins. This means that our ancestors, 1,500 years before the Maccabee Revolution, were already observing an 8-day festival of mourning for our patriarch Jacob. And what do we do when we remember someone? When we light a Yizkor candle, we light candles. And so, in fact, these candles our ancestors were lighting long before the Maccabees. And whether the miracle of Hanukkah happened on the exact same dates, or whether it happened in similar dates, and our rabbis juxtapose or intersperse them on each other, the candles were lit not just as a memorial for the victory, the Maccabee Revolution, the oil that lasted 8 days, but they also are always lit to remind us of our ancestor Jacob, from whom we all are descended. So it's a little piece to understand that this is really a biblical commandment, not just the 2nd century before the Common Era. The menorah itself, and this is actually not a menorah, it's called a Hannukah, or a Hanukkah menorah. A classic menorah has 7 branches. This has 9, 8 for each of the evenings, and 1 helper candle called shamash. We light them with. And by the way, you can light them in any number of different ways as discussed in the Talmud. The first night you might have 8 lit and then move down to 1, like Beit Shammai, or you might start with 1 and move up to 8. But what's really significant about candles and any light is it lights the darkness between. Each of these candles lights up space. And if you look at a Hannukah, there are 10 spaces that need to be lit up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They correspond to the 10 commandments. They correspond to the 10 utterances God did in creating the universe. They correspond to our 10 sefirot, our 10 energy centers. And by lighting these candles, we are enlightening and enlivening each and all of those energy centers. We're making sure all 10 commandments are part of our life. So it's not just lighting some candles to remember the oil. It's to remember Jacob, and it's also to light ourselves up in the middle of darkness. One other little secret is found in this, a dreidel. Now it has 4 letters on it, and they stand for the phrase Nes Gadol Haya Sham. A great miracle happened there being in Israel. If you get a dreidel that is made in Israel, it actually has different letters. It stands for Nes Gadol Haya Po. A great miracle happened here. This is a dreidel that was made in the diaspora. Now, what do we do when we do dreidel? We've all heard the stories that, the gamblers, the soldiers used to gamble as they were on guard during the Maccabee Revolution, but it's more than that. Because a dreidel has a hidden meaning. It's similar to the other rabbinic holiday of Purim. We use this little toy, this grogger. You can see that they kind of look alike. They're just in different directions. And that's the secret. For the miracle of Purim, we did our work. And in doing our work, it created a miracle from God. But for Hannukah, we go like this. God gave us the miracle of Hannukah, and we didn't even have to do anything for it. So this dreidel, every time that you're spinning it with your children, your grandchildren, or your friends, remember that it's also a reminder that God does miracles for us all the time. God brings light in the middle of darkness. God is constantly doing amazing, amazing things for us. So as you spin it and you gamble some chocolate coins or peanuts, maybe even real money if you're all adults, then remember, in that moment, all the miracles God does for us all the time. So Hannukah is a historical holiday. It's a mystical holiday. It's a holiday reminding us of our patriarch Jacob, that we all come from one place. And most importantly, it's a reminder to bring darkness into the light. That God does that for us, and that we have a responsibility as well. That we should bring darkness, take the darkness from the world, we should bring light into it. We should take that darkness out and we should fill it with light. That is our responsibility as Jews and as human beings. May all be blessed to have a sweet, safe, light-filled Hannukah. May you find this dedication, which is the word Hannukah, that's what it literally means. May you find joy and love, peace and prosperity, and above all else, good health and gratitude. Hag Hannukah Sameach. May you have a happy, sweet, healthy Hannukah.